The Mandalorian is kicking off into high gear, with Season 2, Episode 3 releasing information that Ahsoka Tano is going to be making an appearance in the future. And oh boy, was Episode 3 probably the one that really was everyone's favorite so far. But what other characters are going to make an appearance in the future of The Mandalorian? Well, let's find out. Hey everyone, it's Nerdphil here. So if you're ready for more gaming content, gaming culture, gaming analysis, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button down below. Last time we talked about why Carson Teva is really important to the Star Wars mythos, and more specifically why he's important to the Asian community. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check that video just right above my head. But today we're here to talk about why some characters are going to come out in the future and what importance they will have in The Mandalorian. So let's start off with the easy one. Let's start with the Wren clan, specifically Sabine Wren. She's likely to make an appearance with Bo-Katan coming out. It's pretty reasonable that we're going to see Sabine in the future. If you haven't watched Star Wars Rebels, Sabine is someone who held the Darksaber for quite a long time. She's the one who actually passed it off to Bo-Katan, and she was really influential in the Mandalorian Civil War during the Star Wars Rebels run. So it makes a lot of sense for her to make an appearance. We might see other Wren clan members also make an appearance, but if they have to pick one, probably it's going to be Sabine Wren. Keep in mind, she was also an important ally to Ahsoka Tano, and, you know, it'd at least be a cool Easter egg to, you know, have her show up for a bit, wield the Darksaber, and then, you know, hand it back to Bo-Katan. Up next, we have Hera Syndulla. You know, she was very important to the Star Wars Rebels run as well, an important ally to Ahsoka Tano and also Sabine Wren, and therefore also Bo-Katan. And she's always made an Easter egg appearance in different Star Wars films like Rogue One, Rise of the Skywalker. If you don't know those Easter eggs that she makes an appearance in, go ahead and just, you know, Google it or YouTube search it, and you'll find that she's dropped a lot of cameos over time. So if she doesn't make a direct appearance, chances are we'll see the ghost running around somewhere, or her name being mentioned somewhere in the background at least. Next up, we're going to talk about a little bit more specifically about the recent episode, Season 2, Episode 3 that just came out. So while the Mandalorians were attacking the little cargo ship, the captain mentions that, oh, are we being attacked by pirates again? So pirates are still running around, and they always will be in the Star Wars mythos because it's Star Wars. But what pirates could he specifically be talking about? Well, again, if we're looking at the cartoon specifically, Hondo is probably the one that would likely to be in an appearance. He's been a pirate in Clone Wars, and he's been a pirate in Rebels, and he's kind of played both sides, but he's more swung to the sides of good, especially more in Rebels, as he's, you know, helping the Rebel Alliance. And, you know, even though he's getting a bigger benefit, he always actually has the little kids or, you know, the good people in mind. Now, these two might be a little bit of a long shot, but Han Solo could be a reference. Han Solo, you know, was still doing piratey things, and that was heavily implied in the newest trilogy that, you know, he left the Alliance for a little bit and was still doing his own things. You see that as, you know, he's still collecting debt, running into different syndicates. So it could be him. I don't think he'll make a live action appearance because it'd probably be crazy expensive to get Harrison Ford to reenact that character, even if it's for a little bit. But they might at least, you know, drop the name as an Easter egg here or there. And another character that was doing piratey things before he was doing good things was Poe Dameron. It was revealed that in episode 9 that, you know, he used to do Spice Run, you know, do piratey things before he joined the Resistance. So it could be a reference to him as well. Again, we might not see that in a live action form because it'd probably be a little too expensive to get Oscar Isaac to reenact or replay that character. But again, it could be at least referenced in an Easter egg somewhere down in the future. All right, now we're going to talk a little bit more about bounty hunters. We've seen bounty hunters time and time again just randomly show up and mess up with the Mandalorian, but maybe we're gonna get specific bounty hunters this time around. So I think a bounty hunter that could make a live appearance that could actually be really cool and make a huge impact is Bossk. You know, I think it's high time that Bossk comes out of the video game realm, and, you know, he was there in Clone Wars, but, you know, that was a long time ago. So it might be time for him to make a really big impact in the Star Wars universe once again. And as you've seen, the Mandalorian has been hunted down for really two reasons: Baby Yoda or his armor. Both are very good reasons for Bossk to hunt him down and make an appearance. All right, the next two are a little bit more hopeful, but are actually somewhat reasonable, and they're Dr. Aphra and Black Karrastan. I don't know how to say his name, to be quite honest. These are two anti-heroes, bounty hunters that have made a huge impact in the Star Wars universe, at least in the comic world, and they have yet to make their live action appearance. And this might be a solid time for them to come out. These characters have had huge dealings with both the Empire and the bounty hunter world, so it wouldn't make that much of a surprise for them to be involved in whatever the Mandalorian is doing. Because again, he's involved with Baby Yoda, and he's got one of the most expensive armors around. Both very good reasons to hunt him down. I could see some sort of story plot where, these two characters find a Mandalorian, they, betray him, say they're going to help him, but, they're saying, hey, we actually want to sell Baby Yoda, or we want to sell your armor, and then they find out, well, okay, this guy's actually doing something important, actually is doing something that could help us in the future, so we'll let him go, continue his quest, and then we'll, get something else in return from him. All right, this next one is, we're going to be time skipping a lot, but it could still very well be in the realms of possibility. So, stick with me here. So in episode 3 of season 2, Bo-Katan says, if you're looking for a Jedi, you need to find Ahsoka Tano. Now, this is an interesting statement because Ahsoka Tano has renounced the title of Jedi multiple times and has never really reclaimed it, even in the entire arc of Rebels. There's not a whole lot of Jedi running around post Order 66, and Ahsoka Tano, as far as we know, is still on the search for Ezra Bridger at the end of Rebels. Now, this could reveal a whole lot of information about what happened to Ezra or where he is now that Ahsoka Tano is getting a live action appearance. That being said, Cal Kestis actually regained his status as a Jedi and is doing Jedi-y things from Fallen Order, and we could still see the future results of that as we hit the Mandalorian. In fact, because he has done more Jedi things than Ahsoka Tano, he might actually have more information than Ahsoka Tano about how to get Baby Yoda back to his species. Again, I know we're doing a lot of time skipping, but it's still a possibility, at least for Cal Kestis, to make a future appearance in the Mandalorian. If it's not season 2, hopefully we'll see him in future seasons if we ever get that far. All right, this last one is definitely it's a more of a selfish wish, but it's still in the realms of possibility. So when I say the name, don't freak out. Don't click away. I've got some good reasons why this character could be making an appearance. And the character I'm talking about is Kyle Katarn. Yes. If you've played any of the old Star Wars games, you know exactly who I'm talking about. If you don't, just do a quick Google search on him. I don't want to go into detail about his origins, but I really do believe that Kyle Katarn at least could make an appearance, if not in the Mandalorian, in the future for sure. So if you haven't noticed, Star Wars has slowly started bringing Legends stuff into canon over time. I mean, it makes sense. Legends has some really great content, some really great stories. So it makes sense for them to say, well, we know we call this Legends, but let's bring it back because it, fans love it. It's actually really good, etc. And they brought back a lot of good stuff. I mean, the one that's probably most popular is Grand Admiral Thrawn. That guy had a great run in the comics, was a character that people were like, whoa, who is this guy? He's super smart. He's not even force sensitive, but this guy is scary because he's such a genius. And I think they did him really well in Star Wars Rebels. We also got Quinlan Vos and Darth Bane, which are, pretty obscure characters. Maybe not so much Darth Bane, but they were pretty obscure characters to, the non-hardcore Star Wars fan. And now they're bringing in story plots like Boba Fett being alive, for example. And again, I know this is a hopeful wish, but the Mandalorian might actually be a perfect place for Kyle Katarn to be introduced. I mean, what better way to show a runaway stormtrooper than now, post-Empire, where, the Empire, they're still around, but, they're definitely not at the peak of their power. And at this point in time, Kyle Katarn might be able to find out that, hey, I'm force sensitive. I might be able to help this Mandalorian guy with his quest, and it's something I actually do want to help with. I think it'd at least be cool to maybe see a segment where, the stormtroopers are chasing down this guy and they're like, get that defector, Kyle Katarn, and, he's running away. It opens a lot of possibilities, at least to the Star Wars universe, and for Star Wars to do really cool stuff with characters that are kind of forgotten, but at least to those hardcore Star Wars fans, really know and love. Well, those are my thoughts on characters that I think could make an appearance in The Mandalorian. Let me know in the comments down below what characters you would like to see in The Mandalorian and why. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit those buttons at the bottom. You know what buttons I'm talking about. You can use the Force. I hear if you think and focus really hard enough, those buttons will press for you. But just in case, you might have to click them yourselves. But don't forget. All right, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you for your next Nerd Fill.